Mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts. How do we like our martial arts? We like them mixed! Yeah.
I hope I'm not supposed to be hosting this.
And now your host, AK Lee.
Oh, is that what's happening here? Hello, everyone. So, I don't know. Normally Mike does this, but Mike's not here. Yes, this is Alexander K. Lee, 100% prepared, as always, as you can tell. I'm off, guys. I'm rattled right now. I don't know if you've been following the weigh-ins, but there's been a little bit of chaos. I'll get to that in a moment. First, let me introduce my far more on-the-ball co-host for today, the great José Youngs.
What's up, guys? Hopefully I'm not muted this time like I was on BTL. So far, we're out to a great start. That could always change because Lord knows I need more technical issues in my life.
We hear you loud and clear. We're so happy to have you. We have not had this combination in some time, I don't think, Jose. You, myself, and the greatest producer in the biz, Casey Lighton.
Big if true.
This is weird. What's going on with
AK, you killed it. That was an amazing intro, by the way.
You
were like,
who are you people?
That was just chef's kiss.
Okay. As the Eagles once said, sometimes you just got to let it ride, Casey. And that's kind of what I did there. Not because I didn't know I was hosting, but because, the music's so good. You did such a powerful intro. You just got to let it vibe, bro. You got to let it vibe. It's weird, though. Casey, you and I were doing preview shows, like just the two of us recently. Now it's Jose and me. Jose, I'm trying to think the last show that was Jose and me. It has to have been months. I think we did one.
We've done a lot of weigh-ins. We've done a lot of weigh-in stuff, but you can't see.
Yeah, but they don't get to see you. Yeah, they don't get to see your face. I mean, sometimes they see my face.
True.
They don't get to see your face. We see a lot of fighter faces. Sorry, guys. As I said at the beginning, a little bit off to start because I don't know if y'all have been keeping track of the official weigh-ins. Shout out to ag.fight. That's the stream that I was watching. I think we had 3 weight misses, including one half of the headlining bout, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. So it's a little bit strange right now. My understanding is that Fluffy, along with Jocelyn Edwards, and I don't want to get the names wrong here. Sorry, guys. The UFC does not have their official website updated, so I'm a little confused. Julia Stolyarenko as well. So we had 3 fighters come in. They did come in the first hour. This is in Las Vegas, and all were heavy. However, you are supposed to get a second hour with clearance from a physician. And since Stolyarenko was only a quarter over, Edwards was only a quarter over, and Hernandez was half a pound over, and actually pumped his fist. Fluffy actually pumped his fist after he weighed in, despite registering heavy. I assume because he's thinking like, oh, I can cut that half pound easy and I'm going to make it. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. If you go to UFC.com, their official weigh-in page right now, they have no update whatsoever. They have not even put in the weights of the people that made it. So thanks a lot, UFC. Very informative. And the fighters faced off. They faced off all 12 matchups normally, as if the fights are going through. So I guess we assume that the people are just going to win a second time and make it. Very strange circumstances. I'm a little confused. But let us go forward with this preview show, guys, assuming all is well. Roman Dolidze is going to fight Fluffy Hernandez. The other matchups I mentioned are going to go through. Jose crossing his finger. Jose always says, as soon as you see the fighter step to the scale, the fight is official. That's his. Right. I think that's your quote, right? You say it's.
Yeah, actually, I'm so positive that fights happen that when I make fight announcement graphics well in advance, 100% of the times the fights are booked. No fighter has ever pulled out of a fight before they stepped in. It's never happens in the history of mixed martial arts. Like when the UFC announces a fight, 10 out of 10 times it happens. That's just a scientific fact. Yeah.
Khamzat Chimaev, I think we all know, is like definitely going to make it to UFC 319 next Saturday.
Like we like people keep talking about Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno having this tetralogy, but we saw 5 fights between Khabib and Tony Ferguson. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We did. That was great. No regrets. Brian K mentioning Angela Hill had a very funny win. Yeah, she showed up and she had inserts in her bra and removed them. It was quite a chuckle, and she made weight at 136. So those inserts probably would have added a quarter pound. I don't know. I'm a man. I don't understand these things, but it was a good gag. It was a good gag. I think she was doing a bit, and we love Angie for that stuff. So. Again, we're going to talk about the main event as if it's going to happen. Actually, pretty compelling. I think this is like, I don't know what everyone's sentiment is going into this card. It's not the most stacked fight night lineup. It's not the most stacked UFC Vegas, Apex lineup. I get it. But Roman Dolidze, Anthony Hernandez, both top 10 guys. Dolidze, oddly, ranked higher than Hernandez in the official rankings. Not in ours. We have, I believe we have Fluffy number 8. We have Fluffy pretty high. He's on a 7-fight win streak. Is Anthony Hernandez, and he puts on the line against Dolidze, who's won 3 straight, including that weird sojourn up to the 205-pound division, where he beat then-ranked Anthony Smith. So I don't know if we need to get bogged down in what are the title implications of this fight. Certainly for Anthony Hernandez, there's a good chance. But 1 to 10, Jose, just this main event, just the main event. Now, let's not talk about the whole card. How intrigued are you by what we're about to see with Hernandez versus Dolidze?
I'm intrigued solely because we've had a lot of Apex fights where people are coming off losses or they're always sloppy heavyweight fights. At least these are 2 contenders that they're coming off some good, when I say good, I mean a win. Anthony Hernandez has been surging. I think he's deserved a main events or at least big moments on pay-per-view cards. He's had a little bit of both. So I'm intrigued because at least it's not when Marvin Vettori fought Roman Dolidze, what did that even do? I feel like the theme of these Apex cards is what's at stake in the main event, and it's always holding your spot seems to be the theme. But this one, I'm not saying they're going to fight for the title next, but they're within at least another win, especially if it's Fluffy Hernandez, at least another win away from possibly fighting for a title or a number 1 contender fight. So I'm just glad they're ranked fighters that are in the conversation for a title fight rather than they were just available and people know who they are.
Yeah, Anthony Hernandez has not lost a fight in 5 years, and he's fought some real good names in there. I think
he's had the slow build.
He's had the slow build, and as you said, it's kind of weird. He's he never seems to be someone the UFC is pushing towards a title. It's unclear why. Very exciting pressure style. He's a fight finisher. He's beating names. It's not like the 7-fight win streak is against guys without Wikipedia entries. I mean, there's some solid names in here, especially guys who I feel like they were almost trying to push over him, like Edmund Shabazian, Michel Pereira, and he just keeps winning, just keeps knocking them off. So yeah, I think there's a lot for Fluffy Hernandez to gain here. I don't think any one of us is saying, oh, he beats Roman Dolidze, he gets a title shot, but he's certainly on the short list, and we all know the UFC doesn't want to make true number 1 contenders anyway. They want to put you in that contender pool, and Hernandez is certainly thriving in there. Jose, what about Roman Dolidze? Again, I think, like I said, I think people are kind of forgetting how successful he's been. Yeah, he's fallen short in some opportunities that might have put him closer to the top 5. But like I said, nice win over Anthony Smith, beat up Kevin Holland. Marvin Vettori rematch was a strange one, but he did get the dub. He did get it, that he was the one that had something to gain from that fight, and he got it. 1-1 now with Marvin. So he's not getting a title shot, but what's the upshot here for Roman Dolidze if he puts on an impressive performance on Saturday?
I mean, it really depends because I'm working under the assumption that Israel Adesanya is going to fight Sean Strickland, so I'm going to take their names off the list. But RDR just had a big win. Imavov and Kyle Borralho is fighting in the main event of Paris. Obviously, next week we got the title fight. So I think it's good that he's on the same kind of schedule as everyone. But I really think it's going to depend what happens in the Kyle Borralho Imavov fight, because realistically, that should be a number 1 contender fight because both of them are on very long win streaks. And in Imavov's case, he's already beaten Roman Dolidze. If he wins, he could fight RDR, or I know Paulo Costa is available too, but who knows when he's ever going to fight. He seems very gung-ho on fighting Khamzat Chimaev, win or lose. So if Khamzat loses to DDP next week, then we could easily see Paulo Costa versus Khamzat. Anthony Hernandez had a real interesting idea where and RDR even said the same thing when he fought. Like, I need an exciting win. So if Imavov and Carvalho have a boring fight, they'll give me the title shot. If Roman Dolidze goes out there and just like front kicks or wheel kicks Anthony Hernandez and snaps his long, like 4 or 5 year win streak, and then Imavov and Carvalho go out there and put out a stinker, and Dreek and Hamza loses and fights Paulo, there is a world, I'm not saying it's real, it's going to happen, but there's a world that Dolidze is in arm's reach of a title fight just based on how the cards fall. I don't think any of that's going to happen, but at least a win gets him that much closer. But I think of Fluffy and of Roman, I think Fluffy is obviously much closer to a title fight, but a lot of stuff has to happen for Roman Dolidze to even scratch that number one contender fight, simply because he's fought a lot of guys, and a lot of guys are coming off wins and losses. Even Brendan Allen's coming off a big win over Marvin Vettori. That'd be a fun fight too. So it just really depends. Ask me again after next week and UFC Paris, because then we'll finally have some sort of, we've complained about middleweights, but because they've been so active, now all of a sudden we have a very interesting title picture at 185 pounds.
Yeah, you rattled off so many compelling names there, so many permutations that could take place over the next few months. Are you of the camp that like middleweight, at least at the top? I don't think people would say it has the depth top to bottom of like, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, and all that. Are you of the camp that like at least in the top of the rankings and the championship picture, it's top 3 most compelling? Is that fair to say right now?
It's certainly one of the most interesting. So yeah, I'd agree, just because it seems like the top of the division has been very active fighting each other. It's the opposite of what welterweight was a few years ago, where like the top 5, no one was fighting each other and no one was fighting, period. They were all kind of waiting for their opportunities against big names. For a long time, like I said, we were complaining about middleweights and what's going to happen when it seems like, Imavov was always fighting like the Shabazians, and the Roman Dolidzes were fighting the Vittoris, and the Vittoris were fighting the Paulo Costas, and Izzy was just kind of reigning supreme. Robert Whittaker was always floating around, and then you kind of insert, Dricus, Hamzat, DDP, Bo Nickel to an extent, because anyone can make a name off of Bo because he's such a popular name, and all of a sudden middleweight is very interesting just because it's been active, and I think that's why I personally think the way to make fans is to stay active. You don't have to talk shit, just keep fighting. And if Anthony Hernandez keeps winning, I don't know if you've watched any of Anthony Hernandez's interviews. He is you can't monetize anything he says, but I can guarantee you a lot of people will certainly relate to what he has to say.
Can you elaborate on that? Because what is the like star? I hate to the other thing I hate to talk about besides always saying, oh, who's in title contention, is like star potential. Because for some fighters it shouldn't matter, If like if you're a fan of MMA, you should just enjoy it. But is there, I kind of elaborate what you're saying there. Is there a way he can clean up his act, refine his act to make?
Don't do it. Don't do it. He is less angry than the Diaz brothers, but the vernacular has not, it's the same. Like they're both like California guys and Hispanics. Don't clean up your act, Anthony Hernandez. Stick to what you're doing. We'll never be able to monetize it, but people will be compelled by what you have to say. Every other word is basically unmonetizable, but not in a bad way. He's not calling people names. It's just how he talks. It's very funny. It sounds like my friends when we like growing up.
He stands out, and I think that's like very the most important.
He not only, but like he's not just winning; he's finishing people.
He is
like he's like an exciting fighter, and he doesn't watch MMA. I know that. Like if you ask him, like, "Oh, who do you think should fight?" He's like, "I don't know. His exact phrase would be, "I don't fucking watch that shit." Like that's how he would say it. I'm like, all right, well, don't talk to Anthony Hernandez about MMA then. Talk to him anything but MMA.
Jose, before we get to the picks, how do I phrase this? I hate to ask, did such and such surprise you? But when you had to make that Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez graphic, what did you feel at the time? Like, did you feel anything? Did it just seem like, well, this makes sense for Hernandez because they're not pushing him towards a title shot, so he has to fight another tough guy? Or were you a little bit puzzled as to why this was made in the first place and ended up headlining an APEX show?
No, because Anthony Hernandez is coming off an APEX headliner already, right? Who did he last beat?
That was the Pereira. Oh no, Brent
Yeah.
Allen. Brent Allen. Yes.
Was that? Oh, was that in?
But
That was the.
Oh, sorry. No. He was he fought at Seattle, but that wasn't the headliner. But he did headline before that with
So like
Dolidze.
these are two middleweights that have headlined Apex cards before.
They do.
And since they've rattled off a bunch of wins, it just made sense. I would have been very surprised if this was the main event for like a Vancouver card or St. Louis or Nashville. I don't think Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez is getting people to buy tickets in an arena, but I think it's perfectly serviceable as a Apex main event. We get to see both guys potentially fight for 5 rounds, and they've headlined before. So not as surprising as like Charles Oliveira fighting Rafael Fiziev. I was very surprised at that. Made sense. No reaction, as Roman Dolidze would say in his interview with Mike Heck.
I think that's how a lot of people are reacting to this card in general, which is unfortunate. Like I said, I think there are some storylines here. Maybe it's our job, Jose. Maybe it's our job to point those out. But give us your pick. I know you don't love picking fights, but give us your pick for the main event. Who you got?
Probably Anthony Hernandez. He's just been he's been on a roll lately. He's been finishing guys and like every.
Oh no! What happened? Looks like we lost Jose temporarily.
And he's back.
We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen.
Picking fights. He really doesn't like picking fights. He just said, "No, I'm not doing it."
Anthony Hernandez. It's just
okay.
That's my pick. Like I said before, it seems like every fight he has, it's like a slight bump up in competition, and his opponents are always like, it's been a slow rise, and I really like that. And I think Roman's a good time to test because Roman is very durable outside of like, hurting his arms or legs or limbs, like getting hurt, but like in there, he's tough to put away. So physically strong, obviously performed well at light heavyweight against Anthony Smith. So I'm going to pick Anthony Hernandez. I just think he's clicking on all cylinders right now.
Yeah. It seems tailor-made for him to win this. Not Dolidze's tough. A finish, incredibly unlikely. If Hernandez... That's a big statement to me. If Anthony Hernandez can finish Dolidze, who has never been finished, man, that would be a monster statement. Like, I mean, again, we said at the beginning, nothing is going to make him the number one contender at 185. No. Nothing in this matchup is going to make him the number one contender at 85, just like the surefire, we got to do this. But boy, he will be right near the top when the UFC needs to make a call for like, well, this person's not available and this person's not available, but we want DDP or Hamzat or whoever to defend Madison Square Garden or the year-end card. He'll be available. And if he beats Dolidze, man, what a statement. But I do think we're all expecting a hard-fought decision. But Anthony just doing what he does, man. He just overwhelms people. He just pushes the pace. And, like, I don't think Roman can keep up with that. But maybe he'll surprise us. Roman Dolidze is a super tough guy. So we're both
if Roman loses, we can finally get that rubber match against Marvin Vettori.
Yes. It's what the people want. Too many unanswered questions. That's what I say.
Too many.
This co-main event's kind of flying under the radar, which makes sense because it was changed. Well, one, I don't think it was initially the co-main. I don't know what was billed as the co-main when this was sort of coming together. And it's kind of been changed twice. Poor Steve Erceg just wants to get back in the cage, man. Just wants to end this losing streak he's on. He was supposed to fight Alex Perez, and shocker of shockers, Alex Perez got injured, not available. Then Hyun Sung Park was called upon to face Steve Erceg. Huge opportunity for Hyun Sung Park, but they needed him to replace Amir Albazi last week and fight Tetsuro Taira. So jumped from one huge opportunity to another. Didn't work out great for Park, but I mean, what can you do? Now stepping in at this opportunity for what is now, by the way, I didn't realize till today, is a bantamweight bout. Jose, did you know that they changed the weight?
I assumed it was. I didn't know, but I assumed it was just because it was all very last minute.
Yes, they are accommodating Ode Osbourne, who's coming in on short notice. So they did weigh in at the 135 limit. No issues there. This is a weird one. This is a weird matchup. Just not one I would have thought would be on anybody's radar. But in a strange way, it makes sense. Of course, again, given the circumstances, Ode just jumping on opportunity. But Steve Erceg kind of trending downwards. Like, I know we all think of him as a top 15 guy. He's certainly fought well for the most part against some of the top fighters in the division, outside of, getting smoked by Car France. It happens. KKF's very good. And now he has to defend his spot. He has to defend what remains of his spot and try to avoid a 4-fight losing streak as he takes on Ode, who is always been a talented guy. Very likable, very easy interview. but never quite made it over the top. I don't know. I haven't looked at the odds. I imagine he's a massive, massive underdog here. But there's a real opportunity. We've seen some big upsets this year, Jose, and this card is full, by the way, of huge underdogs and huge favorites. So, do you think this is one of those situations where Ode could shock the world and just jump into the top 15 of the flyweight rankings out of nowhere?
I mean, Ode Osbourne is such a wild card, both in and out of the octagon, because he is. If you've ever covered like a UFC Hall of Fame red carpet or like a World MMA Awards red carpet, like Ode Osbourne's always there, always. And like if you go to an Apex card, he's always there, and he's always more than happy to do interviews. So I bet there are people who are like, I didn't know Ode Osbourne was even on the roster anymore because he's had several like kind of rough performances. I think he even at one point had a 3-4 fight losing streak before getting back in there, and he always snaps these like slides with like a good win over a big name or a big knockout. So he's constantly keeping himself on like the forefront of people's minds of the flyweight division. Like he had the fight against Lazy Boy that he almost won, and then when he lost that very close fight, he followed up with like a second round just like performance of the night knockout to snap a 3-4 fight losing streak. So if anyone's going to step up and just shock the world, it's probably Ode Osbourne. Will he do it? I don't think so. Ode loses very big. Like Manel Kopp, like knocked him dead. Jaffael Filho choked him out. Azu Almabayev choked him out. Tyson Nam, I think, knocked him dead I think I was at that fight. That might have been the San Diego fight. So it's just like he loses big or he comes and he has a very hard-nosed fight. So I think this is actually a good fight. I like this fight more for Steve Erceg than his original ones because you can look good against Ode Osbourne or you can be in a tough fight. It's a smaller cage too because the last few fights that Steve Erceg has had is in the big pay-per-view or big like main event octagons. Less space to work for Steve Erceg, who has very clear knockout power and finishing power like he did against Matt Snell. I think this matchup could lead to a big performance for Steve Erceg.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a lot more. Like you said, it's a smaller cage. I wonder if we'll see a lot more grappling from Steve Erceg. Might not want to play around at distance with
I don't know,
Ode.
man. I don't know because like if you watch Steve Erceg's interview with our own Mike Heck, I'll plug his stuff once again. Steve Erceg said his problem when he fought Kai and Pantoja and Moreno is he was respecting them too much. So like going into round 5, he's like, oh, Pantoja's tired. But in the back of his mind, he's like, oh, wait, Pantoja's been here before. Like he's not tired. I got to be cautious. And now he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to go out there and break him. So I think he's going to go out there, especially in a 3-round fight now. I think Steve Erceg is going to go out there and try to punch a hole through Ode Osbourne's face.
Damn. I like that attitude. Like I said, I'm expecting, gosh, when you're a 3-fight losing streak, I just feel like you kind of got to go with what you know. And he's a good striker. We know that. We know he can stand a strike. But he came in to the UFC with the reputation of a grappler. And he's had the chance to show that in some of his fights too. So I think he has a huge advantage on the ground and may want to stick with that. But hey, if he just comes out banging with Ode, I think that would be fantastic. The fight before that, we have Yasmin Lucindo and Angela Hill. God bless. Lucindo has developed a strange reputation. I mean, have you noticed the age of her past 4 opponents, including Hill?
I'd have to think I would imagine they're all. Her last few performances, or 2 of her last 3, they're both retired now, right? Like Carolina and Marina.
Is Carolina retired? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know. That's true. I don't know.
But Marina, yeah, I think is
Marina just retired.
Lucindo, one of the youngest fighters in the UFC, just 23 years old, has gone after way more experienced fighters. She was 22 when she fought Carolina. Carolina was 28 at the time. Then she fought 37-year-old Marina Rodriguez, and she just lost to 37-year-old Amanda Lemos. Now, Lucindo, very talented. But that is a lot of experience to overcome. So the fact that she's done as well as she did, picking up W's over Carolina and Marina, is incredibly impressive. But now this is going from Amanda Lemos to Angela Hill. This is
tough
really,
fight.
really, really difficult. Lucindo has as many fights as she has years on this earth. We'll have more now, when she steps in the cage. on Saturday, but her 24th fight for the 23-year-old. So I'm intrigued by what's going on there. Do you think this is a viable strategy, like a career strategy, Jose? Does she need to start like kind of go back to picking on fight?
Fuck it. I mean, it's working for Chase Hooper.
This is true.
Chase Hooper fought himself into like a main card fight on a pay-per-view. So fuck it. Why not?
We have Andre Fili and Christian Rodriguez. I have to ask you a question, Jose. Has Andre Fili ever headlined an event?
Not Never. To my knowledge.
That's crazy. I wonder if he has the record. This is UFC appearance number 25 for Touchy Fili. I mean, that has to be the record for a guy's most UFC appearances never headlined event.
Probably.
I just can't think. I can't think of someone who's had that many fights. Like, especially once they introduced the Apex, it was like, oh, well, they're handing out headliners left and right. He's got to slot in there somewhere.
Fili also had a bit of like he would fight like once a year, like during the pandemic. So like, I obviously like availability is your best ability. So maybe they offered him fights and he just didn't take them or stuff like that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I talk to Fili quite often, but literally never about fighting.
Get him a headliner. This is my new campaign. Before it's all said and done, we got to get Fili a headliner. I mean, guys, UFC, you have 40-something headliners a year and whatever, 20-something in the Apex.
New dad, Andre Fili.
Oh, first time?
Yes.
Oh, congrats to him. He has a tough matchup in Christian Rodriguez, the man who always beats undefeated fighters, but has the kind of shaky results against everyone else. Also on the main card, Miles Johns, Jean Matsumoto, fantastic matchup at bantamweight. And middleweights opening up Eric Anders and Christian Leroy Duncan. This could be a fast finish, but this could also get bowling shoe ugly. Looking at just the prelims, Jose, anything jumping out at you there on the preliminary card?
Let me pull it up right now.
We got some prospects.
Udos Medic is always a fun little scrap. Gilbert Urbina, man, I forgot he was even fighting in the UFC.
Has not fought in over 500 days. Yeah, it's been a while.
Literally, I was like, wow, I kind of thought he had moved on from the UFC or the UFC moved on to him. So probably Udos Medic and Urbina, both because Medic is like he wins I don't think he's ever fought to a decision off the top of my head. I think he's only been finished, and he's only finished.
Correct. People. Has never gone to the cards.
And it's a lot of knockouts. If he has like 12 wins, I would bet like 10 of them are knockouts. So yeah, probably that one. Udos Medic is also he's a guy. If you ever interview him, AK, you ask him one question, and you'll get a 10-minute answer. Like, and it's a thoughtful interview. Like it's a thought. Like he's not just rambling, but he'll be like, how was your day? And then he'll tell you what he did that day and then how it's affected his life. Be like, this is very interesting, but like, I have other questions to ask you.
I like guys like that. Sometimes, as long as it is something thoughtful and it's not just like, oh, they're stuck in a thought loop and just kind of repeating the same thing over and over again. That's cool. Yeah. He fought a lot.
He fought a lot in the Apex. I think I was actually at his contender fight, and then he fought a bunch in the Apex, and he was having some issues with like getting visa stuff, like his family coming over because of the pandemic. So it's all thoughtful stuff, but like he's not one to hide anything from you. He'll just tell you exactly what's going on with him.
That should so open the main card. The main card.
I agree.
Gabriela Fernandez, Julia Stoliarenko. I'm actually intrigued by that. I don't know what they have with Gabby Fernandez. Like I thought the Wang Tong upset was so cool. Like it was so thrilling because everyone was just saying that Wang was gonna just run through her. And I think she's a real talent at 125. So I got my eyes on that fight for sure. Casey, I think we can go to the questions here. I may have to hop off for a second and finish sorting out what the hell's going on with this weigh-in thing, so I might just leave it to Jose and the fans for a moment. But let me take a question. Brandon Glover says bowling shoe ugly, stealing that AK. Brandon, I stole that from the great JR Jim Ross, so you are welcome to carry that on as well.
All right, to the questions. Not too many. To be
Shocker.
Honest. Not too many.
Shocker. We'll find a way.
I thought this was actually interesting. I thought this was a silly question from Mr. Boza, but then I looked at the rankings and I don't know. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joseph Boza asks, "Could Angie Hill get into the title picture with a win?" Of course she can. Of course she
Mhm.
can. She
Mhm.
is she is in there. She is surviving. If she wins 2 straight, 4 out of 5, we don't know. The big issue is we don't know what Zhang Weili's plans are. Right? It feels like Zhang is really building up to that Valentina Shevchenko super fight, and if that's the
Maybe.
case, maybe not. If that's the case, Angie's gonna have to wait a long time. I also think she's who's the
But
I've
not,
been
not,
thinking.
not really wait. But I think if she gets a decent, just any sort of win, then she's actually her next fight. I mean, it won't be a title shot, but like it'll be
Yeah.
pretty much for possible #1 contender.
I think the only agree it could be. The issue is again what AK like if Whaley vacates because the UFC doesn't seem willing to allow fighters to like they don't want people holding up belts by going to another weight class. So if Whaley vacates, obviously everyone kind of slots up. You would imagine you would get Verna versus Mackenzie Dern for the vacant title, and then
Oh,
Jillian Robertson has just been on an absolute tear at strawweight, like just racking up finishes and finishes and finishes. So Angela could fight Jillian for a #1
Yeah,
contender for sure. Um, Amanda Lemos is fighting Tatiana again, especially
yeah.
if Whaley vacates. The UFC loves Tatiana enough that if Tatiana gets one more big win, they'll stick her right back into a title fight. But I would hazard a guess that Jillian, Mackenzie Dern, Verna, and Tatiana are at least ahead of Angie in the title chase. What Angie has going for is she seems down to fight whenever. So if they need
That's
like
been
a
her whole
title
career.
fight,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
if they need a title fight and they're not, those people aren't ready to go, you like, they are very confident Andrew Hill will just be like, fuck it, I'll do whatever you want.
yeah. If Angela wins, man, I would love to see a rematch
Me
between
too.
her and rematch with who?
Andrade,
Oh, and no, I was thinking Yan
no,
Zhanan. Well, who's that? Is
they could
she
fight
booked? Is
I
that
don't
Jan.
think Jan's just booked. I don't think.
I don't remember.
Because that was I thought that was a bit of a robbery, but that's Angela Hill's career. But
Yeah,
I
but
I,
no,
for, I, I
about 40
forgot
years.
Mackenzie. Yeah, that Mackenzie
Yeah,
Dern was probably going to get the shot if it's vacant for Vienna. Because I was like, oh, why Mackenzie? And I was like, that's right. She's Mackenzie Dern. She's popular. She has a history with Vienna. She beat Vienna, whatever, so many years ago. So yeah, I
yeah.
guess that would
Like
be very palatable.
regardless of who fights, it's Verna versus fill in the blank for the vacant
Yeah.
title.
Oh, Verna
Like
has to
Verna
be
is
one half for
no,
sure.
Vern, yeah.
100. Even if Whaley doesn't go up, if they do Natalia Silva versus Valentina, it's Whaley versus Verna next. That's the only fight that makes sense.
Machiavelli MMA saying Angela Hill should win a 4-fight win streak. She beat Richie. That's you could you could absolutely make a case
Sure.
for that.
But
And
yeah.
Goblinicus Casey is asking, didn't Angela Hill show up at your place one time during a show or
Okay,
something?
okay.
Might have been a fever
AK,
dream,
AK,
and I'm way off.
AK,
I don't know what.
AK. That's my job. I bring the comments up.
I'm
See,
riffing.
like,
There it is. There's the thank you, Goblinicus. Didn't she show up at your place one time during a show? Might have been a fever dream, and I'm way off. I don't know. She was at your fight. I know that for sure. I remember she was at your.
She was on my
She
fight,
was at your
and
fight. Yes.
she has been in my home before, and she did
Oh.
make an appearance on one of our fan Q&As, I think.
She's
And
also
she's been on
she's
preview
been on a
shows. Yeah.
bunch of A-side episodes. It seemed like whenever I was traveling to an event, Angela Hill was always like the guest person for people to. I think it might have even been you, AK, as filled in as a host on the AK back in the day. Yes, I agree, AK.
Good job,
Yes. No, sorry
Got it.
guys. I'm like I said, I'm
Apology
juggling.
accepted.
People need to know whether this main event is happening on Saturday. Like I'm pretty
doubt.
sure it is, but I honestly just don't know.
Okay, look at the screen. Is it official?
I'm looking at. Did Fluffy end up? I don't know. I've got. Listen, I'm spinning a lot of plates here. All right.
How many plates you guys
I can't
spinning?
tell.
Like two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
That's a
than
lot.
one. More than
Whoa.
one.
Have you ever spun one plate? That's very time consuming. You got to concentrate. 2 plates?
It's pretty crazy. Let me know what. Let me sort this out real quick. I did want to say. Damn, there was a comment and now it's lost to me. But let me get back to you guys because we also got Julia Stoliarenko who also missed weight. We got Jocelyn Edwards who also missed weight. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Casey, can I back out of this show for like 5 minutes?
Yeah,
No.
just mute yourself. Just mute
I'll
yourself.
mute myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Put Jose on.
But you're gonna put
Squeeze
AK
me
up
out.
so we can watch
Squeeze me
AK
out.
work.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, leave it up. Like I make a lot of faces when I work. Like sometimes I'm I was like, so if I do that, I'm okay. Don't call 911. Just I'm typing. Okay. I'm like John Mayer when I'm working on the keyboard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Okay. Don't worry
Like
about it.
White people music.
AK. Typical
Okay, everyone is
typical white person. AK.
Listen, everyone is screaming in the comments that Fluffy made weight. Okay, so I guess he weighed in the second time and I missed it. So I'll gotta deal with this, guys. I'll be back.
All right, mute yourself. All right, we have a question for Jose, and this is probably for me too. I'm gonna answer it too.
Hell yeah, dog.
Can
Old Dave, Jose Youngs. Have you seen the new King of the Hill? And if so, how you like it? 10 out of 10. Best season since season 4. Every episode, I think, is a masterpiece. I think it's so good. I think it is. I'm very glad it came out right now. And even if you don't like King of the Hill, I don't think you have to watch the first 13 seasons. I think it is a great narrative on like society as a whole in 2025. I think it's so good. I thought it was one of the best things of television all year.
I'm definitely enjoying it. I will say I am bummed they dropped the whole season at once. I think that sucks. I don't like that.
I agree.
Because I want this show to kind of build and kind of like create like, memes or something. But so you can't, or, just, I don't know, just funny gifs. But you can't do it when you drop 13 episodes because people are like, I don't know. It's just, I like one episode a week.
Yeah, I think they did. I hope they do that for the next one because this season's all been world building. Like, here's what we have to work with now. So moving forward, like, there's also only like 10 episodes, which is very annoying because I want like 20 something. If they put out the first 10 just to set the groundwork and then started rolling out 11, 12, 13 every week, I'd be all in. But regardless, I'm happy King of the Hill is back in my life, and it is great television. Easily one of the best things I've watched on TV all year.
Oh, and just in listening to Peggy's just her Spanish, her everything, it's incredible.
I love how she says Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia.
And the confidence she has in it. I think it's her confidence that just sells.
Yeah, she is the most insufferable human being in the entire world. My very Mexican mother loves the episode of when Peggy gets arrested in Mexico and has to defend herself. And Hank is like, let her talk in Spanish. And then she does, and they're like, oh, she's insane. It's such good writing. I think it's the best. It's the best thing on television right now.
When Hank is watching that Mexican soap opera and Peggy's like translating for him, and Hank's like, the captions are on this. It's translated right there. He's saying nothing. And she's like, "Oh, how embarrassing! They messed up the captions."
Yeah, right. It's the best thing. It's the best thing on television. I think it's great.
How many episodes have you seen?
Plowed through them all.
Plowed through them. Okay. Yeah,
Very disappointed. This isn't a spoiler because obviously Brittany Murphy and Tom Petty famously not with us anymore. So those Luann and Lucky are not in the season, and they don't mention them. But if you look at the wall of like the family room, there's like portraits of them. Mm-hmm. With baby lasagna, but they don't have like those are the only two characters I'm like pretty bummed that they didn't even mention.
Yeah, I was wondering how they gonna if they did Luann die? Did she move away or so they just don't talk about
no, the never once. My theory is that I've convinced myself is luckily in Luann took over the Platter plant farm in Montana. That's what I'm hoping for.
Luann went to a farm upstate. Yeah, the classic.
Yep.
Everyone watch New King of the Hill on Hulu. All right. What else we got? We already talked about Angela Hill's weigh-in.
Casey.
Oh God.
Casey.
Are you back?
Anthony Hernandez weighed in again. 186 made weight. Justin Edwards weighed in again. 136 made weight. Julius Toliarenko, last person to weigh in the second time, made weight 126. All fights are now official for UFC Vegas 109.
Life's a blessing.
I gotta go again. Back to the questions, guys. Back to the questions. Just want to let people know.
Are you're leaving? You're gone?
He's abandoning us.
I'm still here. I'm just, I'm still.
All right. Okay, we got a question not related to this card, but from Brandon Glover.
Brandon Glover, with bantamweight women's being so stale, other than Amanda versus Kayla, what's next in that division? Who do they push to fight the winner of that title fight? We talked a little bit about this on BTO. Actually, we talked a lot about it on BTO yesterday, but I'm sure people didn't answer. The bummer is Raquel is no longer fighting Norma Dumont. I think the winner of that is obvious. I think it was very clearly should have been the number one contender fight. If Amanda won, who they probably would have just run it back against Kayla. They could, if Kayla wins, they could still run it back against Amanda at featherweight for a second title, for all I know. But in meritocracy, if Kayla and Amanda promise to, like, in this hypothetical world, if the winner of Amanda and Kayla agrees to fight the next woman up, I think it was very clearly Norma versus Raquel was the number one contender fight. Norma's been on a win. Raquel's a former title. She would have got back. It's the win column. It would have been a fresh matchup, especially for Kayla. They just signed Bia, who is a very, very elite, legendary jiu-jitsu practitioner from LFA. She's obviously a ways away from fighting for the title, especially because she's like, 4-0, 3-0, whatever in MMA. Not so she's still very fresh in her career. But if she just pulls a Kevin Holland or an RDR and just rattles off like 4 wins in 12 months, just give her a title shot. But outside of that, slim pickings. Because Kayla, I think, already did an interview where Kayla's like, I don't think I'll ever fight Juliana ever again. But even I don't know who you give Juliana next, because Juliana seems to be a big enough name that she's not just going to fight anybody. Like, I wouldn't hate if they ran it back against Raquel whenever Raquel's healthy. Just because that fight in Salt Lake was so close that a lot of people thought Raquel won, including Joe Rogan. I don't know. They don't even have a time for that. They don't even have a date for Kayla Amanda yet, and we're already being like, "What's next?"
Yeah. Let's wait a bit. But to me, to answer your question, even if we did have a date, I don't know. Eileen Perez, I don't care. Don't even give Eileen Perez another fight. She's on a win streak. She's in the top 10. If you're in the top 10, that's you've won a fight. And with the roster so shallow, just don't have these contenders fight each other. Just give them title shots. Who cares? Put them as co-main events for pay-per-views or whatever.
Well, Eileen called out Norma for UFC Rio co-main. Like a 5-round co-main fight.
That makes sense.
Charles, I like it. I don't mind that, but Eileen's been, she's been kind of saying that Norma may not want the fight, but like Eileen's on a win streak, Norma's on a win streak. That's the fight. And at least there's a woman outside of the title picture that's like, let's fight. Like, let's do this. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah. What happened to Aldana? Is she just injured, or is she kind of semi-retired right now? Or
I mean, the last time we saw her, she had like a hatchet to the face.
Yeah, but
I think she's just. I just think she's. And even then, I think she came back. I don't think she was ready to come back yet. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. We're not gonna get into how to build what's wrong with the bantamweight division, but the answer is it's a shallow, very, very, very shallow division. By far the shallowest in all of the UFC. What else we got? Man.
They don't even have pictures from today's weigh-ins, guys, available online. They don't even have pictures of today's weigh-ins. What did I do to deserve this? I don't understand.
This is the path you chose. You wanted this. You didn't deserve this. You chose this.
I did choose this. I love weigh-ins.
You love this.
I love The Ultimate Fighter. I love The Ultimate Fighter, which, by the way, has been an incredibly rewarding experience this season. It's been a very solid season. But this is not.
Why do you lie to us?
What?
How's it been? How's this season of Tough been rewarding?
Tough hang forever, bro. Tough hang forever.
If it's such a tough hang, why wasn't our podcast renewed for another season, huh? What the
Politics.
the contract
Listen,
negotiations fall
I don't
through?
want to.
Huh?
I don't want to get into the the ins and outs and tell people how the sausage is made. It's sometimes you can have a hit show and the powers that be just can't find a way to make the numbers work and bring it back.
So what you're saying is we're gonna make. And keep in mind, this is going to be merch moving forward. That what was it? Tough Talk is the freaks and geeks of the MMA world.
Listen. Yes. We shopped. I'm just saying we shopped. We shopped
Yes.
it around. We shopped it around. Netflix. Did not return my email, but I'm just saying I sent an email to Netflix though, asking if they wanted.
Would you like? Was that like Captain Netflix at Netflix.com? Who did you send it to?
They have a help. They have a form. They
have help
at
Netflix.com. Okay.
They have a form you can fill out online. I filled out that form. I thought I wrote a very nice, compelling message. No response. I understand. They chose to go in a different direction. I heard they just spent a lot of money on WWE or something like that. No. They lost WWE stuff to.
So they should have some budget open
that's what I thought.
A little tough hang podcast by
Max Rabkin has a question for you, Casey. Oh, there's also a super chat. Okay, I'll be right back.
Super chat. Bye, AK. Super chat.
I didn't get to go see him perform. It's a very sad story. It starts with Jose and his girlfriend walking towards Madison Square Garden and ends with Jose's girlfriend in urgent care with a broken wrist.
Oh, was that on the way to the arena?
Not only was it on the way to the arena, we were maybe 4 feet from the front door.
Ooh, I didn't really. I thought it was.
No. Do you know where you and I walked in to go to Taylor Serrano?
Mm-hmm.
She fell on those stairs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she tried to power through it, and then I was like, this is no way. And then I was like, I'm going to buy a hat, and then we'll go. And then we're waiting in line, and she's like holding her arm and like trying not to cry. And I'm like, let's just get out of here. Took her urgent care, snapped wrist.
Oof. Yeah. All those tourists in New York can't handle a little rain.
No, and then I was trying to go see his Don't Tap the Glass pop-out show in Brooklyn. And so the tickets were $5 under the bridge in Brooklyn. So I get in the waiting room at noon. Tickets went on sale at noon. I got into the ticket room at 12:03 and it was sold out. So didn't get to go with that either. Such is life.
Okay. And one more question, I guess. This is for you too, Jose. Max Rapkin, EKC, and José Youngs. What's your favorite album of 2025 so far?
I really like Clips' new album.
Dude, that album's just insanely good.
I really like Freddie Gibbs' new album.
Was that Alfredo 2?
Yeah.
It's quality, definitely quality.
I really like Wave's new album, Spin. I think that's the best album he's had in a long time. And I liked bits of Ecstasy's new album, but it was a little too long, and I think some of the songs sounded way too similar that you probably could have trimmed some fat and made some of those bonus tracks. But it was also very good.
All right. For me, we'll go definitely Clips as far as my favorite album of the year so far. But as 2025. But I've been just kind of catching up on a lot of music too. So a lot of my favorite albums actually came out last year. I just didn't get a chance to listen to them. I've been listening to a lot of death metal, a lot of beatdown hardcore. Like I kind of just discovered this band called Peeling Flesh. They are very good, and they also they released an album, and they released a chopped and screwed version of that album. So it's like this hardcore metal album, and then they have another album. It's like the same songs but slowed down. So,
that is the most Houston sentence I've ever heard.
And of course, it's purple. They changed it to purple.
Of course it was.
So this band Peeling Flesh, I like them a lot. And so I just discovered a bunch of new bands. There's this band from Inland Empire called Big Ass Truck I learned about. They're awesome. Who else? I discovered this band called Contention, the straight edge metal band from Tampa Bay, I think. They're awesome. What else am I listening to? Yeah, just a lot of metal, basically. I listen to a lot of metal and soft piano jazz. That's kind of I go back and a lot of good classic country. I listen a lot. I've been on a Kitty Wells kick lately. So if you know who Kitty Wells is, she's a wonderful country singer from the '50s. So, but thank you, Max Rapkin.
What about me, Casey? I listen to music.
Oh boy. Okay, AK's back. AK, tell us about.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to troll. Let God Start Him Out. It's the only, I think, the only new album I listened to this year. So I guess by default, the best album I listened to in 2025. Though I did discover for the first time, we're talking about stuff you just heard for the first time this year, a wonderful Inuk Canadian singer named Alyssa P. So a big shout out to Alyssa P. Her album is called Inuktitut. That's sort of I think that's the language that the album is recorded in, and it's just like covers of popular songs. So there's like she does like Metallica's The Unforgiven, which is incredible. Heart of Glass. Just guys, YouTube Alyssa P, ELISAPIE, and Heart of Glass. You will cry. It is. I love that song, and I think her cover is like right up there with like the original. And Going to California, also an excellent cover on that song. So Inuktitut, Alyssa P. Educate yourselves, guys. Fantastic stuff. Incredible indigenous music. Kind of bridges the gap. It's like pop music and then with indigenous flavor. So wonderful stuff.
Don't Tap the Glass has been fun too. It's certainly not better than Chromacopia, Igor, or Calling If You Get Lost, but it's like 30 minutes of fun. Everyone hates it. I'm like, y'all are lame.
Speaking of indigenous music, there's this band from LA, a great doom metal band called, I'm not even gonna say it right, Tzompantli Zapantle. It's indigenous, I think Mexican indigenous music. I don't know, but it is incredible doom metal. So and also thank you, Max. Obviously, the new Turnstile album, great, good hardcore. Turnstile is just amazing. I love Turnstile. Hardcore for the family. I love it.
I have never listened to Turnstile. I missed that entire wave of like when they were coming up, and I just have literally never. And it's right up my alley. Everyone, I get messages. I get people asking if I listen to Turnstile all the time. I couldn't name one song, and not because I hate them. I just literally have never sat down and listened to them.
Oh yeah, I could pretty much karaoke their whole album in the car, just sing along. It's just the last 3 albums from Turnstile have progressed incredibly, and just A+ band. I dig it. All right. Do we need any more super chats? Are we good? Oh, one more super chat before we get out of here.
Something. Oh, let's bring it full circle. RS40 wants to know. What's up, RS40? Thank you always, man. With a win, Fluffy would have 8 wins in a row. No one has ever had to win more than that to get a title shot at middleweight. Can he get it with an impressive W? I'm not even going to fact check that because I'm pretty sure that's true.
An interesting stat.
Like we think of people who have waited longer. Obviously, you think of Michael Bisping, but he never won 8 in a row, right? Like he was
because he was always contender. He would lose against the top guys all the time. Yeah,
he had a lot of main events and just never got it until that second Rockhold opportunity. So, can he get it with an impressive W? Yeah, we kind of talked about at the beginning of the show. I don't know if my mind has, as we've kind of deliberated over it, if my mind has swayed more either way. Like I want to believe if he somehow finishes Dolidze 8 wins in a row in what has become, again, I think for the past couple of years, has been one of the more competitive divisions, especially in the range that Fluffy has been fighting at. It should get you a title shot. Like, it should reasonably get you a title shot. But Reiner de Ritter has been so compelling since coming over. Has not lost yet. Big win over Robert Whittaker. Very close fight, but big win. Took out, the Bo Nickel hype train, right? And then you have Bohayo and Imavov. Bohayo is going to be on a lengthy win streak if he beats Imavov. And Imavov arguably is like one of the 3 best middleweights in the world right now. So there's just so many guys who have a case. Paulo Costa could sneak in there. There's that beef with Chimaev that the UFC clearly would want to jump on if Chimaev's able to get a win. And then they might have to wait for Dricus. If Dricus loses, maybe Dricus gets an immediate rematch. So it's really, really difficult to say that 8 wins gets him a title.
Fluffy is basically being treated like the Marab of middleweight. Yes. You just had to win so many. Because I'm looking at Typology and Dricus had the only win. He got a title shot on his 6th win. Mm-hmm. His 6th win. So, 6th win. And Hamzat, I mean, how many fights has Hamzat had to get his title shot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But it kind of bounced. It was a 170 thing too. because half those fights are at 170.
Yeah,
but
Max,
8 wins
Max
in a row.
Holloway, Max Holloway had to win 9 in a row to get his interim title fight. Like it happened. Yeah.
Tony Ferguson won however many in a row, and I mean he was but he was booked to get the undisputed title fight.
Yeah, that's a little different.
So that was a little different. Damn, I just had a name and it totally escaped my mind. But yeah. Oh, I was gonna say Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett's won like 7-0 in the UFC. Yeah, there's a close one in there.
More like is Anthony Hernandez the George Sotiropoulos of middleweight?
Wow. What a pull.
That dude won like 7 or something in a row, then lost like 5 straight and never
What
sniffed.
a pull. Shout out to Sodi.
Yeah.
Ultimate Fighter 6
tough,
alum.
Tough bashes or smashes, whatever it was, coach.
Bashes.
Coach, that's right. Great season. Tough to smashes, one of the best seasons of the Ultimate Fighter. Ultimate Fighter 6, the season he actually competed on, very underrated. The fighters were not great, but some of the best drama. Matt Serra lost a friend on that show. That was incredible.
That's right.
I love that season. All right, Casey. I think we are good. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, listeners. Your questions, as always, are so compelling, getting us going. And I got to talk about Alyssa P, so I'm excited. Thank you, José Youngs. Thank you, Casey Leiden. Guys, there will be a Q&A tomorrow. I want to say at 3:30, because I think it is a 4 p.m. start time for Saturday's UFC Vegas card. So set your clocks accordingly, guys. I know a lot of you guys last week was 6 o'clock. It is not 6 o'clock. 4 p.m. start time, 3:30 Q&A. I believe, Casey, it'll be you and the great Mike Heck, as always, holding that down. Of course, I'll have a post-fight show. On to the next one on Sunday. And then we're gearing up for UFC 319. But let us get through our second of back-to-back returns to the Apex. And I hope you guys if you guys decide to tune in, I hope you have a good time. I hope you're surprised by some of the results. And if you're betting, which you shouldn't do on MMA, first listen to Jed Meshu's No Bets Card, and then bet responsibly. That's all I'll say about that. But thanks again. Thanks, Jose. Thanks, Casey. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Godspeed.
Happy birthday, AK. It's your birthday, AK. Did you know that? Happy birthday.